classic noir film. And if you're a film noir buff, there's a new version of this 1950s classic, and it may look oddly familiar. Joining me now to share more about remaking DOA, filmed entirely in St. Augustine, is producer and director Kurt St. Thomas. Good morning, Kurt.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. So this is a 1950s film. It has already been remade four times. What? Why
Yeah,
did you
multiple
want to? Yeah.
times.
Why did you want to reinvent the wheel here?
Well, it started, I was living in Los Angeles and I was searching for ideas for movies, and I'm not a good screenwriter at all. And so my default was I should find out if there's a film in the public domain. And started looking through public domain films, and I saw DOA, and I immediately it caught my eye because I love things that are very symmetrical, and I was like, that will look great on a poster, real easy. And right as I saw it in my head, I started singing this song by the band X, and it's called I Must Not Think Bad Thoughts. And in that song, John Doe and Exene Cervenka, the two members of the band that sing, they sing a line, DOA, and they're actually referring to the Canadian punk band from the late 70s, but I could just hear John saying DOA. And for some reason, I was like, wow, it'd be cool to remake that movie, and John Doe would be the best lead actor, and he's totally got this Robert Mitchum vibe.
And you'd worked with John Doe on a previous film about 20 years ago called Red Right Hand, which is a Nick Cave song. So
Yes.
you have a lot of musical influences.
Yeah, we've known each other for a long time. I worked in radio for a long time, and that's where we became friends. And I had also directed a music video for Kathleen Edwards called Back to Me, and I cast John as her boyfriend in the video. And all of a sudden, Hurricane Matthew happened, and my mom, who lives in St. Augustine, she's 84, and it was just that her house was really destroyed by flooding, and it was that moment where I said, I need to move to Florida to be with my mom. And at that moment, I bought a house in Lincolnville, and all of a sudden it was announced that X was going to play the amphitheater, and ended up hanging out with John for a couple of days, and I pitched him on the idea, and he was like, oh, yeah, sure. And he never thought I was going to make it. And then it took about 2 years from that point to actually get him to come to St. Augustine for a month to make the movie.
As it happens, the house that you bought and moved into with your mom that you share actually has kind of a rock and roll history too.
Yeah, my mom actually lives next door to me, but my house, which I didn't know until about at least a year, I found out that this guy lived in my house, Chris Pyle, and his dad is Artemis Pyle, who's a
Leonard
drummer for
Skinner.
Leonard Skinner, and but I immediately knew Chris Pyle was the guy who played drums in Royal Trucks, a kind of a offbeat band that I happen to love. And I actually friended Chris Pyle on Facebook, and we've had a few chats. But my fiance, on our second date or so, she was wearing a Royal Trucks T-shirt, and I was like, "Well, she's the woman for me."
That's the
and
one.
yeah, and by the way, come move into the house, and yeah.
So we should get to the film. There are so many familiar sites that people who know St. Augustine will see in this film. There's the Gator Farm, there's the Lightner Museum, there's Price's Barber Shop, there's the Bridge Alliance. It really is like a central character in a way.
It is, and I mean, almost the entire movie is filmed within blocks of my house. So that was kind of one advantage. People were like, why did you film it here? And I'm like, well, look at it. It's amazing. All these crazy locations, and it's just beautiful. And I could see how I could make it look like 1949 without too much effort and digital erasing and things like that. And
Was it difficult to get permissions to shoot in St. Augustine?
no, it was actually pretty easy. I met this guy, Marty Lewis, who was unfortunately passed, and Marty ran the film commission there. And I had a meeting with him, and he basically set it all up. And I had to pay the whopping price of $35 for a permit to film the entire movie.
That's extraordinary. Well, you can see DOA on many streaming platforms. You can watch it for free on Tubi. Kurt, thanks so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I'm really honored to be here. I love the station, and it's exciting.
Well, we love to hear that. And good luck on your next project.
Thank you.
All right.